Mexico City, February 14, the country is on fire. In the 72 hours since the confirmed death of Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, the head of the hyperviolent Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, a wave of brutal, coordinated violence has erupted across at least 10 states, leaving over 200 dead and turning parts of Mexico into literal war zones. According to reports from federal security agencies, the chaos appears to be a three-way free-for-all. Factions within the shattered CJNG are fighting each other for the throne. The rival Sinaloa cartel, smelling blood, is launching aggressive incursions into CJNG territory. And local gangs, seeing a power vacuum, are settling old scores in a frenzy of shootings and arson. President Sham's address was a masterclass in political theater. The snake's head has been cut off, he stated, voice firm. The body will thrash, but it will die. We have deployed over 15,000 military and federal police personnel to key hotspots. Order will be restored. He announced Operation Phoenix, a sweeping new security initiative aimed at dismantling cartel logistics during this period of internal disruption. The violence isn't confined to back alleys. A major highway in Michoacán was blockaded and set ablaze by masked gunmen. A luxury hotel in Puerto Vallarta, popular with tourists, was strafed with bullets in a targeted attack, sending spring breakers diving for cover. In the state of Guanajuato, a video circulated showing a convoy of technicals, pickup trucks with mounted machine guns, parading through a small town, a blatant challenge to state authority. The message is clear, there is no control. But here's the twist that's got every intelligence agency from Mexico City to Langley scrambling. Late last night, according to a high-level source within the Mexican Attorney General's office, FGR, a mysterious, heavily encrypted data burst was intercepted. It wasn't emanating from a known cartel communications hub. The signal was bounced through multiple satellites, originating from a server cluster with suspected ties to a Swiss private bank. The content, once the outer layer of encryption was cracked, wasn't about drug shipments or hit lists. It was a calendar invite. The decrypted fragment contained coordinates, a time, and a list of codenames, none matching any known cartel nombres de guerra. The location? A high-security private club in the heart of Guadalajara's financial district. The date? June 8. The subject line of the invite is what's causing analysts to lose sleep, **** Project Qatar, final alignment, ***. June 8. That's just 5 days before the opening match of the FIFA World Cup in Mexico City. Guadalajara, Mexico, the encrypted calendar invite for Project Qatar, final alignment, led investigators straight into a trap. POV, you think you're hunting a ghost, but the ghost has been setting the table for you the whole time. According to high-level sources within the Mexican Attorney General's office, the raid on the private club in Guadalajara's financial district was a meticulously staged scene. The club was empty, save for a single, unlocked laptop left on the bar. It played a 10-second video loop of a burning football stadium. The Real break came not from cyber, but from old-school street work. A lieutenant for the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, known by the alias El Gato, was captured in a pre-dawn raid in Zapopan. His interrogation, conducted at a secure military base, revealed a truth that flips the entire investigation. The violence rocking Mexico. It's not a power struggle. It's a smokescreen. El Mencho's successor was chosen over a year ago, El Gato stated, according to a transcript obtained by our sources. The old man is sick. He's been out of the game. The plebes fighting in the streets. They're auditioning for a part that's already been cast. They're just the noise. The real operation, he claimed, is Project Qatar. It has nothing to do with controlling drug plazas or avenging El Mencho. The goal is financial, global, and almost invisible. The cartel is using the chaos as a distraction to move assets, legitimize billions through complex investments tied to the World Cup infrastructure projects, and establish a new, untouchable financial architecture. The violence is gaslighting an entire country, the lieutenant reportedly sneered. You're all looking at the screaming Karen in the parking lot while the silent partner is walking out the back door with the entire store. The interrogation took a sudden turn when El Gato, growing increasingly nervous, demanded full immunity and relocation. He offered a name, not of the successor, but of the strategist. You want to stop this? You don't find the new king. You find the man who built the kingdom. The one who designed this whole thing. He leaned forward, his voice dropping to a whisper just as the lights in the interrogation room flickered. They call him. A single gunshot cracked through the one-way mirror. El Gato's head snapped back. The shot came from a suppressed rifle, fired from a service vent in the ceiling of the adjacent observation room, a room supposed to be secured by the same agents running the interrogation. Chaos erupted. As medics rushed in, a field agent crouched by the dying lieutenant. With his last breath, El Gato choked out 2 words, asterisk asterisk the architect, asterisk asterisk. Security footage from the base's perimeter, reviewed hours later, showed nothing. The name, the architect, echoed through secure channels, creating a digital panic that was, frankly, a bigger mess than the cartel war itself. POV, you've got a ghost in the machine, and the machine is your own government. According to a source deep within the National Intelligence Center, the data trail from El Gato's last known calls didn't lead to a jungle compound. It led to a secure server farm outside Mexico City, registered to a dummy corporation with one shareholder, a mid-level bureaucrat in the Federal Secretariat of Security and Civil Protection. Yeah. The guy who helped draft the security protocols for the upcoming Global Cup. Here's the 5W1H, served cold. Who asterisk a high-level government insider, call him, the architect. What asterisk coordinating the cartel chaos as a cover. Where asterisk the epicenter is the Global Cup Stadium in Mexico City. When asterisk the final match, 72 hours from now. Why asterisk that's the million-dollar question. How asterisk by turning the cartels into his personal distraction squad. The revelation hit the Joint Task Force like a stun grenade. We've been gaslight by a guy with a pension plan, was the muttered consensus. All that street-level violence, the blockades, the shootouts, the very public power vacuum, was just theater. A giant, bloody smoke screen. The true target was never the drug trade. It was the 90,000 spectators, thousands of international dignitaries, and a global broadcast audience of billions. The plan, pieced together from intercepted, fragmentary chatter, an unprecedented, coordinated hostage crisis at the world's most watched event. Not to make demands. To make a statement so catastrophic it would rewrite geopolitics. The cartels weren't fighting for turf. They were contractors, hired to pull security detail for the real operation. Special forces from 3 countries were scrambled. The stadium, a gleaming monument of modern engineering, was locked down 48 hours before kickoff. The official story? A critical infrastructure stress test. The reality? A tactical nightmare. Every duct, every service tunnel, every VIP box was swept. They found nothing. No explosives, no weapons caches. It was cleaner than a Karen's kitchen counter. The tension was a live wire. With 6 hours to the match, command made the call. The stadium was clean. The threat was neutralized. The architect's plan had been foiled by good, old-fashioned intelligence work. The team stood down. The show, they said, would go on. That was the narrative. The official one. But in a surveillance van 2 blocks away, a tech analyst saw it. A single, anomalous data packet, bounced off a satellite, that had slipped through the earlier net. It wasn't a weapons schematic. It was a delivery manifest. For the stadium's halftime show. The halftime show was the trigger. Not for a bomb, but for a global financial blackout. According to a confidential report from the Cyber Command Unit embedded with the task force, the device was a decoy, a high-tech magician's trick to pull every security resource into a physical search. The real weapon was code. The architect's network used cartel money, laundered through a dozen shell companies, to fund a simultaneous cyber attack on the core banking systems of 3 major financial hubs, London, New York, and Hong Kong. The architect, real name revealed by Interpol as Victor Cerny, was captured trying to board a private jet at a remote airfield. But the takedown, hailed as a victory in a press conference this morning, was hollow. "We got the conductor," said a source within the Department of Justice, speaking on condition of anonymity. But the orchestra is still playing. The malware, the infrastructure, the payment channels, it's all automated. It's out there. The attack, dubbed halftime crash by investigators, was designed to execute during the peak distraction of the stadium event. Its goal wasn't destruction, but erosion. A distributed denial-of-service attack on trading platforms, coupled with algorithmically timed wire transfer fraud targeting liquidity reserves. The financial stress test wasn't a metaphor. It was the mission. Initial estimates from the Financial Stability Oversight Council suggest attempted fraudulent transactions totaling over $9 billion. Most were blocked. But the system-wide latency and the sheer scale of the attack caused what analysts are calling a confidence tremor. Markets in Asia opened volatile. The cartel's role, according to a Treasury Department financial crimes bulletin, was purely capital. They provided the untraceable seed money, buying into Cerny's promise of chaos that would profit them through pre-positioned market shorts. It was a new kind of hybrid threat. Narcoterrorism meets algorithmic warfare. In the end, the stadium was safe. The game finished. The crowd went home oblivious. The victory was broadcast. But in secure server farms across the globe, a different kind of cleanup is ongoing. The network remains dormant, its architecture peer-to-peer and resilient. It's a ghost in the machine, the DOJ source said. We silenced one node. The rest are listening. The final POV isn't from the agents or the analysts. It's from the system itself. A single line of code, buried deep in a legacy banking router, pinging a dead server for instructions. Waiting for the next halftime show. The show, as they say, always goes on.